Hi guys, Cinematic Recapped here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm gonna explain an American science fiction and thriller movie, called Beta Test. At the beginning of the movie, there is an interview from a global game developer called Sentinel, which is led by a man named Andrew. After that, the scene moves to a courier who is delivering a package to a young man named Max. It is revealed that Max is very familiar with the courier who only delivers a new game for him every day. In other words, Max is working for Sentinel as a game tester for their new games. Most of his video games in his house is also sponsored by Sentinel. He then starts playing the new game accompanied by Sentinel tech support. While playing the game, he is assigned to provide criticism and comments for the game so that it can be improved later. Unexpectedly, the game he plays this time is very different from other open-world games. There is no menus, no options, and no loading. However, he does not care about the oddity and tries to understand what is going on in the game. He plays as the main character named Orson. Meanwhile, he is given several kinds of clues and missions by Zane, one of the NPCs. In his first mission, he has 90 minutes to sneak into an ongoing robbery at the National Bank and retrieve the contents of a safe deposit box. Zane threatens that if he fails in the mission, Orson's wife will be killed and the game will end. Knowing this, Max becomes more and more curious about the ending of the game, so he carries out the mission as best as he can. When he arrives at the National Bank, he sneaks inside through the window to remain undetected. Then he quietly searches for the key to open the safe deposit box after being told by one of the NPCs. Afterwards, he finds a gun from the safe deposit box and additional orders to kill some of the robbers and take the money from there. In the end, he manages to pass the mission perfectly because Max had no trouble at all in carrying out the mission. After a while, he starts to feel strange why this game cannot be paused. Not only that, he is also shocked by the breaking news on the TV, reporting that there was a bank robbery perpetrated by someone named Orson. Based on statements from existing witnesses, Orson is a former Sentinel employee. As a result, Max's mind starts to mess up because he never thinks that his job will end like this. He also does not understand how he can control a human in real time, even all his actions are connected in real-world activities. When he wants to turn off the video game, Zane suddenly appears on his TV and threatens him not to do so. Apparently, Zane is not an NPC in the game, but a real human whose existence can be found directly in the real world. He says that he has transferred the stolen money to Max's account, and it can be used as evidence for the police if he does not follow Zane's orders. At the same time, the Sentinel guards suddenly surround Max's residence so he cannot escape anyway. Inevitably, Max continues the game as Orson to do his second mission. He is ordered to go to a private school and protect the shooter who wants to carry out a massacre at the school. Surely, this is only a diversion so that the news will be focused on the school. At first Max is reluctant to do that, but he is forced after the tech support, who turns out to be Max's girlfriend, also saying that she does not want to die either. He then stops the school's internal security and watches the murder take place in front of him. Afterwards, he is told to escape from the school before the authorities get there. Shortly after, Max suddenly has a brilliant idea before the third mission starts. He deliberately controls Orson to call himself, saying that he needs his help. Because this is an open-world game, Max immediately controls Orson to go to his house. He then kills all the Sentinel guards in front of Max's house and reunites himself with Orson for the first time. The whole incident is instantly reflected in the game as if Max sees himself. Furthermore, Max feels curious about Orson's true identity. Therefore, he asks tech support to activate Orson's consciousness level via an in-game bug. Luckily, his girlfriend is not afraid of Andrew and immediately complies with Max's request. Since Orson is still being controlled as a game character, he can only speak to convey some important information, one of which is about the hidden surveillance cameras that are in every item Sentinel has given to Max. All this time, he is not aware that all his activities are being monitored by them. A few moments later, Max accidentally notices a strange device on Orson's neck. Hence, he has the idea of transferring the device to one of the Sentinel guards. However, Max must accept the harsh reality after Andrew suddenly calls him, saying that his girlfriend has been shot dead after she is caught having a special relationship with Max. Soon, they put their new plan into action with a new character that is still unknown to Andrew. This time Orson acts alone to get his wife back while Max controls his new character in the game to do the last mission. Later, Orson arrives at the Sentinel office to rescue his wife who has been held captive by Andrew and Zane earlier. At first, he intends to be on good terms, but Zane's reckless behavior eventually makes him lose his temper. Because of that, he mercilessly gets rid of all the guards there, including Zane in the end. Afterwards, he finally meets Andrew on the top floor. He then explains that Orson was a former Sentinel employee who was deliberately expelled because he was the only person who disagreed with the making of this game. Thus, Andrew and his team agreed to make Orson as the main character in this game. Because of this, it's very natural that this game has no menus, no options, and no loading because everything that happened was completely spontaneous and can be seen in the real world. This is done by Andrew with the aim of creating the best impression for gamers who have only been able to have fun in the fictional world right now. Meanwhile, Max's condition is unexpected after one of the Sentinel guards at his house turns out to be alive. Fortunately, he is able to overcome the guard by controlling his new character back to his home to help him. After that, Max immediately goes to the Sentinel office after learning that Orson really needs his help. At the right moment, he manages to kill Andrew while Orson is struggling to fight him back. A few weeks after Andrew's death, now Max is no longer a game tester, but he is purposely appointed as the new CEO of Sentinel. His position has been chosen by the fans of the game developer, while Orson is on vacation with his wife after getting compensated for his previous crime that he was completely unaware of. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.